Okay, people, let's look at this one. It's called the relationship between different hormones. I want you and me to know what is the relationship between, we will look at the relationship between different hormones. One, we will look at the relationship between FSH and progesterone. We'll look at the relationship between estrogen and LH. We'll look at the relationship between LH and progesterone. We'll look at the relationship between prolactin and gonadotrophic releasing hormone. Then we'll look at the relationship between gonadotrophic releasing hormone and FSH together with LH. This is what I want you to understand here. There are two words, or there are two terms that we will use here which will help you to understand what is happening here. What we will check here, one, there is a term which is inhibit. Inhibit in this case, or in this scenario, it will simply mean that a certain hormone is stopping the other hormone to be secreted. Is stopping the other hormone to be secreted. But when we talk about stimulate, it means if one hormone is being secreted, even the other hormone will be secreted. So there are two terms that I want to understand here. Inhibit, sibheka ukuthi mangabe ihormone A1 iphuma ngobuningi, lena enye kufanele yehle. Kustimulate, mangabe ihormone A1 iphuma ngobuningi, nalena enye kufanele iphume ngobuningi. So those are the two terms I want you to understand. We will try to use this graph, but you can also understand it even without this graph, if you can just read and understand what you have in your sunrise there. Okay, fine. Let's look at the relationship between FSH and progesterone. We also talked about it when we were looking at the oyster cycle. But before we get there, let's look at the key here. Assist me by identifying the key here. We have this hormone that is going up like this way, this one. This one is your progesterone. I think I'm right on that one. Then we have this one. This one is your FSH. I think you see that one. Then you have this one with a line. This line. This one would be your prolactin. Then we have this one, hidden detailed line. It will be your LH. Then we have this one, it will be your estrogen. So make sure that you take note of those keys. Okay, fine. Let's use this one. What I want you to understand about progesterone and FSH is that progesterone inhibits the secretion of FSH. Remember, when we talk about inhibit, we say it stops the secretion of FSH. So if progesterone is high, the level of FSH will be low. But what about FSH? Same applies with FSH. If FSH is high, progesterone will be what? Will be low. Hence we say FSH inhibits the secretion of what? Of progesterone. Let's look at what we have here. This is my progesterone. This is my progesterone. What is happening with the progesterone from day maybe 3 or 2? It's increasing. Né? If the progesterone is increasing, what happens to the level of FSH? It's decreasing. Hence we say progesterone inhibits the secretion of what? Of FSH. Since the progesterone was increasing, FSH was what? Was decreasing. So that's how you put it. So it's vice versa. If one is increasing, the other one is decreasing. If the FSH is increasing, progesterone is increasing. But this is the term that you use, inhibits. It's the simplest part of understanding it. Let's look at the relationship between Estrogen and LH. Estrogen, remember, it comes from the Graafian follicle. But what is happening here is that when the estrogen is being secreted by the Graafian follicle, it will cause the level of FSH to also increase. So if we say it will cause the level of LH to also increase, what does that mean? It means estrogen stimulates the secretion of what? Of LH. If we say it stimulates the secretion of LH, it means it will cause LH to be secreted too. So once there is high secretion of estrogen, it means there will also LH starting to increase. Let's check what we can check here. This is your estrogen. When estrogen is increasing, what is happening with your LH? It's also increasing. So it means estrogen stimulates the secretion of what? Of LH. Once estrogen increases, even the LH is doing what? Is increasing. Simple, simple, simple. The relationship between LH and progesterone. What I want you to understand here, my people, is that LH is responsible for the formation of what? Of corpus luteum. And corpus luteum is secreting what? Progesterone. So for corpus luteum, so for progesterone to be there must be corpus luteum. For corpus luteum to be there must be LH, luteinizing hormone. So what is the relationship between the two hormones? Is that if LH is increasing, it will also stimulate, or it will also cause progesterone to do what? To increase. So we can then conclude here, my people. We can then conclude and say LH stimulates the secretion of what? Of the progesterone. That's the simplest part of it. It stimulates the secretion of what? Of progesterone. Let's check what we can check here. What is happening with LH here? It's increasing. So if it's increasing, it means it will convert the empty Graafian follicle to a corpus luteum. Now the corpus luteum has been formed. What will happen to the progesterone now? It starts to increase too. Hence we say it stimulated the secretion of what? Of progesterone. That's the simplest part about it. Then you can check the relationship between prolactin, which is responsible for the formation of what? Of milk or production of milk. It will inhibit the secretion of gonadotrophic releasing hormone, which is GNRH. Then the relationship between gonadotrophic releasing hormone and LH. The gonadotrophic releasing hormone will come from the hypothalamus. It will be secreted to go to the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland to cause the pituitary gland to secrete LH and FSH. So the gonadotrophic releasing hormone is responsible for stimulating the secretion of LH and FSH by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. So that is the simplest part about all of this. That is the simplest part about all of this. Let's try to summarize it using this table. I also have to summarize it using a graph, but this is what I want you to check. You are given a duration here, a period. You're given a period here in days. You're given the level of progesterone, the level of estrogen. I'll just ask about a few things. If you get a question, my people, they say, at which day whereby the animal was on heat, whereby the animal was ready for mating, whereby the animal was mounting other cows, whereby the animal was restlessness. The first thing that you must ask yourself is that, okay, fine, at which stage does the animal do that? In oestrus stage. Which hormone is high? In this case, you are given progesterone and estrogen. The hormone that is high in oestrus stage is estrogen hormone. Now you come and check here. Good. At which day, which hormone is which whereby the estrogen is high? You check a 4, it goes to 15, it goes to 33, now it comes back to 30, going to 10. So it means my 33 is the highest. So which day is that? It means it's day 12, because we're guided by the highest level of what? Of estrogen. Then they can ask you, okay, which day is the day 12? Why? Because estrogen is at its peak. Which stage is that? It's oestrus stage. How long does it take? 12 to 18 hours, or just say 12 hours in average. Okay, fine. Which phase is day 28? Which phase is day 28? You now come here. We have 4 phases: pro-oestrus, oestrus, met-oestrus, di-oestrus. When you check here, you have estrogen, you have progesterone. Progesterone is high here. Then which stage whereby we said the progesterone will be high? We said it's di-oestrus. So it means day 28 is di-oestrus. Why? Because the progesterone level is at its peak. Another way they may ask the question, they may say, determine whether the animal is pregnant or not pregnant. You look towards the end of the cycle. Towards the end of the cycle, ubheka level of progesterone, is it decreasing or increasing or remaining the same? When you look at the level of progesterone, is 30, 42, 42, 42. Remember we said, the question was saying, is the animal pregnant or not pregnant? We look at the different ways of determining whether the animal is pregnant or not pregnant. We say if the animal is pregnant, in relation to progesterone, it will increase. But if it is not pregnant, progesterone will do what? Will decrease. But if you check it here, it's not decreasing. So it means the animal is what? Is pregnant. Why? Because the level of progesterone is increasing or remaining the same. That is the simplest thing I wanted to explain to you. Make sure that you watch the videos several times. Watch the videos a minimum of 3 times. And if there's something you don't understand, you stop the video, go back a little bit, watch it, use your pen and your paper and write everything that you feel it is important for you to write. I will give you some few activities for you to practice, and I will be glad if you can share your answers with me. Thank you.